welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers over the last month, which is nice. I'm actually leaving today for Las Vegas. The reason I'm going to Vegas, and then I'm going to Indiana, so it's kind of a long way to go to Indiana, but the reason I'm going to Vegas is Noovo Vans is based out of Las Vegas, and they just came out with a new model called the Plus. They've actually got 3 models: the Light, the Pop, which is a pop top, and then the Plus, which is a brand new. They actually, I think, will officially start going into production, I think at the end of the year or towards the end of the year, third quarter. But it's based on the new, there's a new ProMaster that's a super high roof, and so they've, it's kind of cool. They did a floor plan where it has the bed that goes up in the ceiling, and it's kind of ironic. I actually, last year, I do a lot of little designs, floor plan designs, and I actually did one like that, actually based on a custom one that I had seen, a DIY build. So it's kind of cool. I want to see what that's like. And then their other floor plan, the Light, is very similar to the Panoramic. You know, it's got the front dinette. I mean, there's obvious differences. The Panoramic has more windows, has the skylight, so it's much brighter. But it still has that same concept of, you know, you have your front dinette, you have your galley, then you have the bed in the back, and the bed's raised up a little bit so you have more storage underneath. So I'm actually anxious to see that one as well. And then they added a pop top, which is on that same floor plan with the dinette in the front, but it has a pop top. So that'll be interesting to see. And I think they're gonna sit down and we're gonna do a video of it, walkthrough and everything. So that should be really exciting. And I think I'm gonna meet Neil and Britt out there. They're also gonna go check out the Noovo. And I think they mentioned in one of their, I don't know if it was their last video or the video before, but they actually are a brand ambassador now for Noovo. So yeah, we're gonna meet up out there. But first, I am gonna make a quick stop at the grocery store. I got everything I wanted, because I'm trying not to get too many groceries, and I'm just getting like the basics, like bread, eggs, cheese, you know, things like if I want to make a sandwich or whatever. But I started thinking, Kroger, I don't know if all Krogers have it or if it's just Texas, but they have Nolan Ryan fillets that are just so good. And we made some yesterday, and I was like, you know, I want to get a couple of those and put them in the freezer so that way I can have them. I don't know if it's just a Texas thing because you know, he played for the Rangers, but yeah, it's really good. So I'm about to head out, and yeah, I have Misty with me. She's sitting down here. I think she's like, oh, you know, once we get going, she's fine, but she gets kind of like, oh, you captured me. Well, I finally got here to the Amarillo KOA. It was about a 6-hour drive, actually, probably been a little bit longer because I made a few stops and took my time. But it's actually pretty nice out. I was expecting it to be hotter because when I first looked at the weather, it was going to be like in the 90s, which is why I decided to stay here and not a Harvest House, mainly because I want to plug in and run the AC if it's going to be hot. But it's not too bad. I think it's like about 83, 85, something like that. And thankfully not windy. Usually every time I've stayed here, it's been crazy windy. So it's really nice out. One of my favorite things about staying here, though, is the prairie dog town across the street. I like to go over there and watch the prairie dogs. I'm easily amused. But anyway, yeah, so tomorrow I'll be staying in Grants, New Mexico, and there's a Harvest Host there that I'm going to stay at, and then Kingman, also a Harvest Host there, and then I'll be in Las Vegas. So they're, you know, kind of long drive days. And after I go to Vegas, then I head to Indiana because we have, well, I have a service appointment scheduled on the 4th, June 4th. I figured I'm almost 70,000 miles, and I've had the van almost 3 years, and I figured it's probably a good idea to have them kind of go over everything and make sure there's nothing you know, about to fall apart or come loose or anything like that. And I do have to have a few repairs. Like if you can see this, kind of, I don't know if I can really show you, but this right here is like a screen and it's broken. So like this will just fall down. So I have Velcro up here holding it up. So they're gonna fix that. And then I've noticed, I don't know if you could really, it's actually working fine right now, but like this just started, but the strip light in here, you know, it's one long light. Well, for some reason, right over the galley, when I first turn it on, it won't come on, or it's dimmer than the rest of it. And it's all one strip, so if I were to dim it, like they would all dim. So that's not what's happening. But I think there must be a short in it or something. I don't know. But overall, I really don't have any major things for them to fix. It's just a couple of little, I think, you know, wear and tear kind of things. But yeah, so I have that, and then the Coachmen Owners Rally is at the end of the month. So I'll be, you know, it's about a week and a half, I think, after my appointment. So I'll probably go up to Michigan, and I'm thinking I'm going to go up. I did reach out to them, and they said they were interested, but Drifter Vans is up in Michigan. So I want to go up and talk with them and see some of their vans, and hopefully I can do some tour, you know, video tours and whatnot. They actually have, I think when I looked at the website, I want to say there's like 4 floor plans that you can pick from, and you can, they're kind of like, well, they are a custom builder, but they're also like, they have like semi-custom. So in other words, they have these 4 floor plans that you can pick from, and then you can pick the ProMaster, the Transit, or the Mercedes, the Sprinter, that you want it built on. And then for most of them, there was a couple I noticed that they didn't have on the shorter Transit, but some of them you can pick, like if you want it on the shorter wheelbase or the longer wheelbase. And then they also have full customs. So in other words, you come and you take your plans and, you know, however you want to have it designed, and then they'll build it. And they also have like an interior decorator that works with you and everything, like on both, right? Not just the custom one, but you know, if you pick one of the existing floor plans, and you can still make changes to it as well. So the van always comes out being, you know, tailored to what you want. And so it's kind of interesting because between Drifter, Noovo, and Panoramic, I mean, they're all 3 very different in terms of, you know, I guess components and things like that. But from what I've seen, and I know Panoramic because I've seen it enough. In fact, I've been back to see it. I think I've been back there 3 times already. But like the Panoramic is built really, really well, and the Noovo, from what I can see, and we'll find out, looks to be built really well. And the Drifter vans look to be built really well. I mean, just really nicely done. So it's just kind of nice to see, you know, some different options out there. You know, if you are thinking about a van, you know, there's just different options than just what, you know, what the RV manufacturers have. And hopefully when I talk to Nick, and I think we're going to sit down and probably have a chat as well. Just kind of on some of the things that they've been doing, and, you know, so hopefully we'll have some good things coming up. I went to New Mexico and Arizona last month. I guess I was gone. I didn't really pay attention. I want to say 3 weeks. I don't think it was, I think it was just 3 weeks. But I went, you know, for Bisbee, which was a lot of fun. I filmed a little bit, you know, just here and there, little clips. And I did, on the way out, I did stay, I was going to talk about this, was I stayed at a Love's RV park, or campground park. I don't know if you'd really call it a campground. I guess RV park in Sweetwater, Texas. And it was actually pretty nice. It, you know, it was handy that the Love's was nearby. You know, I would definitely do that again. I would say that those are a good stop if you want someplace that you have full hookups. You know, you just want to get off the road because you've got a lot of driving to do. I think it's a really good stop. Like, they actually had some nice features to it. There was a dog park. There was, I think it was a pickleball court. They did have showers. I didn't check them out, but they did have showers. But just nicely done, you know, nicely laid out. It was new. So that was kind of cool. And then I stayed one night in Roswell, but I didn't really roam around Roswell. I kind of drove around a little bit. You know, there's a McDonald's there that it looks like a spaceship. And I guess at night it lights up like in green neon, which I wish I could have gone to see that. But, you know, once I got settled in for the night, because the next morning I wanted to get up early because it was supposed to be super windy. And so I was like, well, and they were like all the wind alert warnings, whatever, went into effect in the afternoon. So I was like, well, if I can get my driving out of the way in the morning, I can at least, flying around. If I can get my driving out of the way in the morning, I can at least, you know, beat some of that. So, and I stayed at a Harvest House that night, called Adobe Deli. And that was pretty cool too. But and I parked behind one of the buildings that they have there to kind of block some of the wind, and you could see like my lamp was moving, and but yeah. And then, you know, Bisbee, met up with everyone. We met up in Tombstone, just kind of walked around there briefly, then we headed into Bisbee, and that was a lot of fun. Bisbee's a really cool town. You know, if you haven't been there, I would say, you know, try to get there and check it out. It's a lot of walking uphill. Like, no matter where you're going, you seem to be going back uphill. But the Weird Wild West was fun. You know, I was more interested in just hanging out with everybody that I know. So, I mean, they had different things going on. You know, some of us went to, we did check out a few of the things, but mostly we just kind of roamed around. You know, maybe we checked out some of the bars and you know, just kind of really hung out in Bisbee. So that was fun. I'd like to do that again. And then I was supposed to go to Lost Dutchman State Park with Neil and Britt and another person, Alfred, who's also kind of part of our group. I'm not going to say his last name because I don't know if you know, for privacy reasons, but yeah, he's part of our, you know, Go Small, Live Large family. And so we were all going to go to Lost Dutchman, but the sites that we had were not hookup sites, and it was going to be like in the high, like close to 100 degrees. And we all have pets, so we're like, yeah, that's not going to work, and it's going to be too hot to really, you know, go out and walk around the park. So we changed gears and headed up to Prescott because it's higher elevation, so it was much cooler. It was in the, I want to say probably upper 70s. And we found an RV park there that was privately owned, but it looked like, it was really nice. It looked like a state park, like you know, like that kind of a setting, as opposed to, you know, when you think of an RV park, you know, you just think about basically like a parking lot of RVs is how most of them are. But this one was, like I said, it was like a state park. Like each site, just like in a state park campground where you have like your nice little space, you're surrounded by, you know, nature, trees, whatever the terrain is, you're kind of in the terrain. And that's how that was, and it was really pretty. I can't think of the name, so I'm going to put the name in here. But that I definitely would like to go back there again. So we stayed 2 nights there, and then where did I go? I went to a Harvest House the following night. Oh, then I started working my way up to Monument Valley. Oh, Monument Valley was so nice. I stayed 1 night in Flagstaff at the KOA there just so I could dump fill and all that kind of stuff. And then I stayed at, it was called The View campground in Monument Valley, and it's on Navajo land, so it's, you know, they manage all of that. And there's a hotel there. Now the RV campground area is dry camping, but you have sites, but there's no hookups. And they even have some cabins, and I think there was some showers there. I just used my own shower, but I stayed 2 nights there, and oh, that was so nice. What was nice about staying at the View is that because of where the hotel is, it was within walking distance, and there's, you know, the guest gift shop. There was a restaurant. I didn't go to the restaurant, but there was a restaurant there. And then they had tours that take you down through Monument Valley, because you can drive down there. I wouldn't do it in my van. If I had, once you got down there, it wasn't too bad. I mean, there was you know, it's all dirt, so obviously, depending on what the weather's doing, you know, there's always that risk of getting stuck. But the road going down was, yeah, there's no way I could have gotten down there. Like, I would have taken out my freshwater tank because it was, you know, you're kind of, you know, like when you see those Jeep commercials, you know, and like there's like a rut and then there's a big rock and you're like trying to drive over it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. But I don't even, maybe I guess if you had a true off-road van, you could probably do it. But yeah. But anyway, so they had tours going down there, and I did that, and that was really nice. Now, the weather, it was actually kind of cold and rainy. I didn't mind it though. I mean, there's a few times where the sun kind of peeked out, and I got, you know, a couple pictures of the sun hitting some of the rock formations. But yeah, it was nice. I would like to go back there again. I did, of course, stop at Horseshoe Bend on the way there. But then I went through Colorado, stayed at a Harvest House in Colorado, and I really didn't spend too much time. I was just kind of like, it's just kind of like the way I came back down into New Mexico. And I did stop and got coffee in Durango. Definitely want to go back through Colorado, which I am actually driving through Colorado to get to Indiana, but like I said, they're long drive days, so I probably really won't be stopping anywhere for any extended period of time. But at some point I would like to plan to go back to Colorado because it was just so pretty. It's kind of cool to look out and you know, still see little piles of snow, and but yeah, so that was nice. And then so then I came back down into New Mexico and met up again with Neil and Britt in Los Alamos. So we spent one night at Bandelier Monument, and then the next night, this was kind of cool, the town of it's not Los Alamos, it's the town, is it called White Rock? I think it's called White Rock. I'll have to look it up. I'll put the name in here too. But they have, as part of the, I guess it's like the welcome center or the information center for the area, but they have RV spots, and it's really, I mean, they really literally are parking spaces, but each parking space has power, or has, yeah, electric and water, so you can hook up, which is nice. And it was only, I think it was like $20. So we stayed there, and then the next day I headed out, and that's when I started working my way back to Texas. But yeah, it was a good trip. I think I was home for 3 weeks, and now I'm back out again. And I'm not sure when I'm going back, because I'm like, I don't really, because at the end of June, this is going to be the first year going up to Indiana that my daughter's not up in Ohio. And so I'm used to going to Ohio after Indiana, and you know, the weather's just perfect. And so I won't be doing that this year, but I don't really want to come back to the hot weather, so I don't know. Or that, or I'll come back and then go back out. I don't know. But yeah, that's just kind of a little bit of an update of my last trip and where I'm off to now. And hopefully we'll get some good content for you, and good information. Sorry, I've got the camera sitting on my table, and I'm trying not to lean on the table because it's shaking the camera. But yeah, hopefully I can get some good information for you about these you know, about drifter vans and Noovo Vans, because they are, you know, smaller builders, and so it's nice to see what they're doing, and you know, again, like I said, it's an option that's out there. I mean, I I do love the Coachmens. You know, I think that they're really good builds. They're, you know, they're done well. I mean, there's things that they can improve on, and I think even Nick would say that, and he, you know, he's always trying to improve things. But if I had one thing about the Coachmens is the floor plans. It just kind of, for me, it just comes down to floor plans. Like, you know, as you know, all the changes I made to this one. And that's why I love the panoramic so much, because I love that floor plan. And, you know, am I thinking about a panoramic? Maybe, possibly. You know, it just kind of depends on, you know, the biggest thing is I don't have any problems with this van. Like I said, you know, I'm taking it up for service, but it's more of a routine type thing as opposed to, oh, I have all these things that have to be fixed. And I mean, if that was the case, then I'd be like, yeah, I got to go find something else, because, you know, I can't enjoy this because, you know, things are always breaking. And that's not the case. I mean, this van has taken me a lot of places. So, and, you know, I love the Transit. So it's kind of it would be a big decision for me, you know, if I decide to change vans. And I've put so much into this, that's the other thing, you know, I've put a lot into it. I've, you know, obviously with my remodel, I've done some things on the outside. I don't know, you may have seen, because I don't think I've really talked about it, but, you know, I've changed the grill. I added a nudge bar in the front, added an additional storage box in the back, a Rover Vans box. I put the Falcon Wild Peak tires on here, so it gave it a little bit of a lift. You know, and the tires ride really well. So, you know, again, so there's things that I've done that I'm kind of like, well, you know, it's not easy to say, oh, I'm just going to go get another van. So, I don't know, but I do love the panoramic. And, you know, we'll see what Noovo has. I mean, you know, like I said, I'm really curious to see the Plus, because that is something that I saw. I saw it last year in, you know, one of the van tours, you know, one of those videos that you see when they do van tours of people that have designed their own vans. And I thought, God, that is such a cool idea, because if you can just, you know, your bed's always made up, so you don't have to make it every day. You just, you know, push it up into the ceiling, or, you know, push a button and it goes up into the ceiling. And even down to, so I started like sketching out something, because you know, again, what I like so much about the front dinette is that it's an area that people can sit and converse. You know, like if it's raining, you could be in there socializing. Or if it's too cold, or there's mosquito, whatever. And so the idea of the bed going up, you know, you get that similar concept, but it's in the back, but you have a big dinette that people can sit around. And so I started sketching it out, and I even to the point where I was, same thing, where like I was like, yeah, if you could have because I know I saw one and I couldn't find it after that, but, you know, like cabinets that are under the bed, so that you do still have some of that storage and don't lose that. And actually the Noovo, they did that. They have storage under the bed, you know, cabinets. So that's why I'm really curious to see if, like, conceptually, you know, what I thought about, like, okay, would that actually be, you know, a good flow? And so we'll see. I'm excited to see it, though. But anyway, so yeah, so I just kind of wanted to get caught up, because I haven't, I've been meaning to work on a video and I haven't, and like I said, I didn't film as much as I thought I would on my last trip. So I'm going to end it here, and I will see you in the next video.